Hey, welcome back to the channel. So welcome to Baltimore's abandoned Old Town Mall, which we're going to be exploring and doing a little walkthrough of today. It was a marketplace for Baltimore that dates back to the early 1800s, but has been essentially abandoned since like the early 2000s, 1990s-ish era. So let's take a look and see what we can find. This is such an interesting area. If you ignore the fact that it is just completely ignored. The architecture, I mean, that is a shame with the fire. But it's interesting because just right there, you see all the buildings and all that, that's like 3 or 4 blocks away, and that is the Inner Harbor area where you've seen a couple of my videos, the gallery place and then the waterfront shops, right? And just a couple blocks up from that area is this. Pagers and accessories. Alright, so what is this? The office for the Tran Group. There's no way that that's a legitimate thing. I mean, there's a security camera right there. There's a security camera right there. But there's no... Oh, a couple more of them right up there. There's no way that that is a legitimate office building that someone is using, right? I mean, look at this. There's no chance. But actually, I just noticed over here too, there's this random door. So they have signs talking about stuff being vacant, but then you have stuff like this, where it's like, what the heck is going on here? The area is divided up here. You can see you've got this first little section here, and then you've got some open area, and then kind of the main crux of the shopping center down there. And so the mall, this area, dates back to the early 1800s, like around 1815, 1820-ish. And so actually, yeah, right on this piece of land that has since been demolished stood the first building that was part of what eventually became the Old Town Mall, which was the Bel Air Market. And I cannot figure out if they had plans to eventually demolish more of this, and that was the first step, and then they just stopped, or what exactly the deal was. But it's a shame that the oldest building in the area here got demolished, whereas the newer stuff was kept. I feel like that could have been a really cool historic thing to keep around. When this was first opened between the early 1800s and the mid 1900s, this was actually a car street. I don't know, what the heck do you call it, an auto, I don't know, whatever, cars could drive on it. And they had parking along the side, and you could access the shops that way. But in the late 1960s, mainly due to the decline of the area and its patronage after World War II, when people kind of left the city for the suburbs and the population around here and sort of the everyday patrons declined, the city actually revitalized, or had a whole revitalization plan with the area here, where they closed down the street. So you can see like where that big truck is, hopefully down there. That street actually ran straight through here. So they closed this down, put in this these pavers here, and turned it into a pedestrian walkway, and a lot of money into revitalizing a lot of the shops to be able to try to jumpstart it again. And that worked for a little bit, but that was in 1968, I believe. And by the early 1980s, the area was back to being almost fully abandoned again. And I guess ever since then, the city has just decided to not bother with it and has just left it sit here. A lot of the stores have like, it's almost like two layers to them, right? So they've got the pre-revamp stuff, kind of the foundational architectural stuff to them, right? Like the guts of the building, for lack of better terms, like this Schulte United, right? But then in front of it, they've got the revitalized stuff, like the McCrory sign that's right under it here that shows, I'm guessing, what it became after the fact. And so it's almost like a double time capsule in a way, in that you've got the remnants of the original buildings, like with all this really cool stuff, whatever, and then you've got on top of it New York Fashion Plus, right? Or penny pinchers. There's more stuff for the sharp-dressed man. I can't get over how cool this building looks. Actually, I take it back. At least up until a couple of years ago, I'm pretty sure this New Hope Church was still a thing. So maybe that is still... It's actually currently, it's Sunday morning about 9 o'clock. So if it's going to be, the church is going to be occupied, I think in the next couple hours, we'll probably see. Well, actually, here comes a car behind me now, so maybe that's part of it. I don't know what the deal is here. There's a couple of cars that just pulled up. We'll just do our best. This is another one, right? Like, so there's security cameras here and where? Right there. There are lights, obviously. Like, is this an actual in-use pawn shop? I have no idea. It looks totally different than the other places, which makes me think I know. So within the last couple of years, a new development company has come in and claims to be kind of revitalizing the whole area, trying to revamp a lot of these old buildings and putting up housing units around the area. But I don't know if this is part of that or what. I mean, I feel like it probably is, right? There's something different going on with this. So this actually used to be I think a furniture store. Yeah, it says furniture. That since 2016 has been used seasonally for a haunted house. And so it's currently October. It's nearing Halloween. So I don't know if that's kept up all year and just used for like the month or two leading up to Halloween or what. You know, there's a lot of these buildings here that have now been sort of repainted, and even their shutters and stuff have been redone. It feels like you're walking down a city street. This is really cool. So interestingly, we can check it out in a minute here, but there's a Dunbar, it's the football field for the local Dunbar High School, which actually is like, I think 3 or 4 blocks that way. So I don't know how that came to be, but that's also like right up against this. You've got this apartment complex here, You got what looks to be a church there. Like this really kind of pretty nice looking, I mean honestly pretty nice looking apartment or condo housing here and stuff that's being put there. But it's all being put and built right around this area. This little stretch here that is being completely ignored. And I don't know that I'd want to pay whatever prices they're probably charging to be in there, to be next to an area like this. Like that looks very new and kept up. I think what we're going to do now, I'm going to walk back down this stretch here, go down down to the end, and then maybe walk along the backside of a couple of these buildings. So kind of go down here, make a loop, come back around, and then come across back up the top here, and then walk around like the backside of these buildings here, and just see what kind of the immediate surrounding area looks like. We're back here down where we started. I figure we can come around here and walk up this side. I mean, it's amazing, like that abandoned street. This is a major intersection here. I mean, major, whatever, it's a used intersection. You've got like a used road here, a main road here, a main road here, and it's just this strip of abandoned nothingness right in the middle of it that everyone is apparently choosing to ignore, except for politicians, apparently. Now that, interestingly, welcome to Old Town Mall, coming soon, new development. That gives me hope, but that's been, if I read it correctly, that's been a couple of years in the making and nothing's really happened with it yet. So hopefully I'm wrong about that. But that would be great to see something come back in here and spruce up the area a little bit. I mean, this doesn't look any better, right? Not that I expected any different, but just boarded up, graffitied stuff. I wonder what the deal is with that hose that's sticking out the back of that. Looks interesting, concerning. All right. Huge hole in the ground. Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and not mess with that. Yeah. Doesn't look like there's anything back there. So, I don't know if those are gunshots or what, but that makes me super uncomfortable. It sounded like fireworks more than gunshots. I'm going to choose to assume that those were fireworks at 9 a.m. on a Sunday. Mostly because I'm parked way up there, so I can't even run to my car except to run in the direction of whatever that was. So let's just keep going and keep our fingers crossed. So yeah, that's we're in one of the old parking lots here, and that's kind of the fountain area, and this is the backside even for a really steep discount, I don't know that I would want my parking space for my apartment and living quarters, whatever, to be shared with the backside of this. No, okay, so I hear whistles, and it sounds like there's something going on possibly at the football stadium over there, that football field. So I'm actually pretty sure it was some kind of like beginning to a sporting event, maybe a football game or a soccer game or something. I mean, clearly this was something that was bad enough that they just tore it down. I don't get this either. They're building more of these nice new apartments or condos, whatever, smack up against this. I wouldn't want to spend the money that I'm assuming they're probably going to charge either in rent or in whatever sale value to live here unless they're actually going to clean this up. I don't get why they're choosing to ignore this whole area here when they're building stuff up here, and I think, actually, I could be wrong, I think through there, it's in this direction, it's a couple blocks east of here, is Johns Hopkins Hospital, which is one of the premier hospitals in the country. Like, this is crazy. Look how nice this is going to be when it's completed. Like, who's going to pay for this? Like, I mean, like, who's going to buy this or rent this right next to this area here? But I guess people are living in these ones already, right? And so now we're coming along the top side of the mall. You've got that apartment complex that we saw earlier at the top end of it. Straight ahead is the football field, which I think I can see people, which again makes me feel better about what I thought were gunshots. The Struggle, this barber shop here, was closed when we walked by it before, but now that's open. Okay, so that's another one. So I wonder if there are other stores that are open. But yeah, so we're at the top here. Here's a look down the mall. So there's like Pee Wee football or something. Why are they setting off like giant fireworks for a football game between a bunch of 7-year-olds? This looks like an urgent care. I have no idea if it's open or not. That would be a really cool service to have here. I hope that means it's open. So we've got that main road behind me, and then it splits off here into kind of going behind the mall itself. You can see the top of the buildings there. I need to get my pointing correct. The top of the mall there. So let's walk down here, kind of in between this row of what looks like occupied row homes. I can't get over this. I just don't get it. What does that say? Certainty. What am I stepping on? Wiring? Just have a car on blocks here. I mean, these ones here look like they are kept up, currently used housing, like people are living in them. I mean, this makes me wonder, because the backyards of some of these places that I thought were occupied look like the backyards of some of these places, which are definitely not occupied. All right, I don't know what's going on with that, but Jesus Christ. I don't know what's going on with that place, but that looked modern-ish, not destroyed. There's, for reference, the haunted house. I don't know what the deal was with that. Those were relatively nice windows. The house inside didn't look trashed. I don't know what is going on there, and I also don't know what is going on here. This can't be right. Daycare? That looks current. There is no way that there isn't active daycare back here, right? Like, look, I come around the corner. So let's go check back here real quick. But like, yeah, there's nothing really. It's just a... But yeah, there's no way that that is an active daycare, right? Like, I cannot imagine actively enrolling my kid in a daycare where I drop them off back here. I don't know, it certainly looks legit. Well, legit as in current, or active. Wonder what the deal is with this. Wonder if the daycare with no windows and only one door uses this. So that's a really interesting, that roof right there, that's a really interesting way for that to kind of collapse and decay. But I'm gonna walk over here really quick. I just noticed it looks like there's a road in between the main road and that one we just walked back on here, where there's some houses. So this is the front side of those. Oh yeah, they are occupied. And this is a pretty nice looking stretch here. A nice little courtyard looking thing. What in the world is going on with this area? So hopefully someone from Baltimore or more familiar with Baltimore than me in terms of its actual, like, whatever, workings in the city itself can give me an idea of, like, why has this evolved like this? Like, why is this area that has so much potential and historical value left to just rot away while they'll put in these really nice strips like this of housing right up next to it, or build those condos or apartments over on the other side, and right up next to the backside of this stuff, and just ignore it, like ignore the abandoned stuff here? Like, what is the mindset with that? Is it just everyone has it's someone else's problem sort of mindset? I don't get it. I feel like now that they're building up, so hopefully that redevelopment stuff that we saw, the sign we saw earlier about redevelopment coming soon, hopefully that's the case, because I think there's a ton of potential here for them to do like a third revitalization, I guess a second revitalization of the area, to see if they can make something stick. All right, well, I think we're going to call it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed a walkthrough and a look at Baltimore's abandoned Old Town Mall. Looks like there's actually a few cars, more cars up there, up this way than there were before. So maybe that means another business or two is actually open. Again, if you're more familiar with this area than me and you know about some of the other businesses that are currently active, let me know, I'm curious. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. like button, subscribe button, notifications, all that jazz. You know how that works. Really helps out the channel. And until next time, I will talk to you later. All right, bye.